hypothetical underground cities. And try to see if I can turn this phone up. Let me try to see. The secret hypothetical underground cities is what we can flip this around. You can see like there's some here and this. Look at this, some miles of London tunnels for sale. Why would there be miles of London tunnels for sale? I wonder when that was. See, that was in 2008. Why would they even be selling their tunnels? But let me flip this around. Look at this right here, top secret. U.S. government tunnels. Why would the government have top secret underground tunnels? Look, an underground city. Good morning, Tina. An underground city is a series of linked subterranean spaces. Oh, wow, that's really big. Look, you know what? When I saw this, when I first saw this right here, just now looking at it, when I saw the word cities of the underworld, you know what it looked like? The crisis of the underworld. That's what I saw before I saw the ITIS. I saw the word crisis, the crisis of the underworld. The underworld is in crisis. Okay, the 4 billion. Okay, the secret 4 billion tunnel network under Chicago. Okay, so we got the underground cities, the secret. But as some would say, the hypothetical underground deep underground military bases. So, I mean, we got the deep military base in Cheyenne Mountain. Cheyenne Mountain is supposed to be military. It's the for the continuation of government. Continuation of government. Would they be protected against the attacks of the aliens? During an attack, we'll just say hypothetically, during an attack of the aliens, whether they be human or whatever, but it's a big complex, a military complex. They mean it's very big. It's official website of the United States government attacks against North America. So they got the NORAD, they got the Cheyenne Mountain Space Force. The Space Force is in Cheyenne Mountain. All right. Good morning. Look under Finland. It's crazy. There's so much going on. This won't be too long of a video, but there has been. It's like hypothetically speaking. You're not supposed to say that there's deep underground military bases, there's tunnels and stuff, but we know they got big tunnel boring machines. Mr. Musk uses them for his, what is his cars and stuff? Not Tesla, whatever those things are running underground at hyper speed, miles and miles and miles of tunnels. Where do they put that debris? Can you see where that debris goes? I don't know where it goes, but to dismiss that these underground tunnels, hello there, Frank Honey, to dismiss that the underground tunnels exist. We know that there's always been underground tunnels. If you look back in the history of some places, there's miles and miles of tunnels, and some bad things happen in those tunnels. Some say that, this is like got different layers underground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories about the aliens and stuff like that. And tunnels underneath the government buildings, tunnels underneath the White House. You remember seeing those videos of the White House where they were building a fallout shelter underneath? And some people were witnesses seeing they have these semis. The semis were delivering stuff to like these places near the White House, these tunnels, and they would go on this ramp. You're over the road truck driver. And there are underground interstates under America, Frank Honey. Yeah, they would go underground and they would deliver these supplies. And you think, well, if they're taking these supplies underground, where are they going? There's got to be something under there. And then you remember the Roswell incident, right? And then look at this. This is from This is from the year. This is past the clause of. Look at this. Called the Project RAN. The Project RAN. The proceeding of the Second Protective Construction Symposium Deep Underground Construction, Volume 1. And look at the year. Look at the year when this was, 1959. Look at the dates, March the 24th, March the 25th, March the 26th. March is really an important date. But since 1959, could you imagine what it looks like? It's probably a whole new world under there, a whole new world. And it's vamped up and everything underground. If they got a whole new world, they got to have, if they got underground cities and stuff like that, hypothetically speaking, we know they do. Because in Texas, they had built underground stuff. They were going to be, that was going to be the second, there's going to be a big Fermi Lab facility under there. They built the beautiful tunnels and stuff. And then somebody automatically, they said they abandoned the project, but underneath there were restaurants and everything under there. How big is the gold-rich salt mine in Ontario, Canada? It's probably a massive, enormous. They are scared of something. Yeah, they are scared of something. And yeah, and that's your grandma. Let's look at this. So this was from the RAND. This is 1959. Now we are in the year of 2024. That's many, many years later. 2024. Look, they had some problems of underground areas. This is the paper on it. The problems of the underground area, the site selection for deep underground installations, design of exposed items, utilities for deep underground. And we got underground fiber too now. We got underground fiber here on the up in the surface. They're headed for on May. Okay, let me see this. The largest military is heading to Bruce County in Huron County on May the 3rd through 5th. And why would they be going there? Crating and rupture, wave, look at all of these that are involved. You got a blank page. Look, introduction. Why go deep underground? Princeton University. This is 1959. Nuclear burst persona to deep underground, protection of communications. Why are they doing? You think they've been preparing? Yes, decades. If we go back to 1959, 40, 6. Oh, let's think about it. So we have around 70 years or so since then. 70 years. And they look at that. They had to have certain factors to be understood in their site selection. The Army engineers, underground, there was something, utilities for deep underground installations. Even in the water, there was something I saw in here about the ocean also. Tunnel damage from nuclear explosions, the effects of the earthquake. So they got something up their sleeve. Frank, when the grits hit the fan, you know where you're going. You're going underground, Frank. Frank is going underground when it happens. Utilities for deep underground installation. You can, I guess, I would say that you can't use certain types of materials underground. You'd have to have something available heat. Available heat sinks for protected underground installations. Utility problems in the submarines. Oh, utility problems in submarines and their relation to underground construction. Collective protection against chemical, biological, and radiological. So this is the new construction methods from 1959. Large tunnel machines. They had them way back then. Large tunnel machines, planning nuclear underground phenomena. This is 1959, the widespread current interest in protecting the military installations. Well, you want to be protected against unforeseen events and stuff like that. As above, so below, yeah. So you have the dwellers inside the earth. If they have cities, and they do, they got cities underground. You got to have people there. You got to have housing for the people, doctors, food. You got to have everything that anyone would need, like they have on the surface. You would have to have hydroponics and all that kind of stuff. You would have to have it really, really, really built up, and it would have to be going for when the time comes, and you seal off the entrances from above. That's what you do. You seal them off completely from above, so no one can get in during those times that they're expecting. That would be a complete lockdown. So if you think about it, you have the military bases above ground. They're like the first responders in the event of a direct attack in the areas that people live on the surface. And once that is triggered above, then they've got to stop it from going underground to getting to those, because that's the backup. That's the backup plan right there. Underground is their big backup plan, and it's fully functional by now. 2024, safe. It'll be their new world underground. There's already people in there. If the population of the earth is like 8.4 billion people, is all of the 8.4 billion on the surface of the earth, or are there some inside the earth? Let me look at this really fast. The Goldrick clock ships can go up into Lake Superior. They're planning on going door to door and do wellness checks to Bruce County. Thank you, Ann. Let me look at this. They're going to go door to door in Bruce County and Huron County, which wondering how big is Goldrick salt mine, and Goldrick has water and boats that can go to Goldrick. Why are they doing well checks? Well, there was a there was something that was floating around. I cannot attest to the validity of it, that in another country, really, this is, I cannot check the validity of it, that the largest migration was actually happening in Hungary, because people were leaving, was it Germany? Because it was so expensive. They're losing their homes, they can't afford the utilities, can't afford the food, and they're migrating to Hungary, or Hungary somewhere. It's just weird. There's so much going on, and we only see what they want us to see. That's all you can do. See what they want you to see. The underground bases, okay, 62 degrees year round in there, underground. It would seem about right, Frank, honey. So this is Project Ran. That's from 1959. Look at the dates. It's in the March time frame. You know how the Georgia Guidestones were, they had that March the 23rd thing on there. You have the underground cities, the Cheyenne Mountain continuation of government. You have these, and of course these are quite exquisite. But you would have everything you need in that underground city. 7 hidden tunnels. And why can't we ask if there are underground cities? Look, underground tunnels near Jeffersonville, Indiana. Why do they got that? Why are there tunnels under Louisville, Kentucky? Look, anyone know anything about the Butchertown tunnels? What a name for that. I've been told the access point at Manual connects to the underground tunnels. We're talking Louisville, Kentucky. The cave, the best known and best documented in Jefferson County, Kentucky. Wow. Why are there tunnels under Louisville? That looks like a water drainage system too. 4 miles long, 4 long tunnels. You can run into tunnels. There's tunnels. What is the cave system? Underground secret proposal could bring the underground tunnels. What about this underground tunnels? Um, Spectrum News, Spectrum, internet provider Spectrum. Oh, let's look at this really fast. I'm going to let me mute this because I want to see what Spectrum has to say about these underground tunnels. Oh, they're preparing. They are really preparing. You all keep your comments coming. I'm going to see this. A Tesla car drives through a tunnel in Las Vegas Convention Center, an underground tunnel developed for Elon Musk. Let me look at this. No, I don't want to. I don't want to sign in, but I want to look. Well, I'm sorry. If ask me later. Ask me later. Oh, okay. Now we got them. Spectrum showing the tunnel. Okay, this car is driving through this tunnel. You all drive through these tunnels. So this is how they are above ground. But so look at that wood boring machine. It's like massive. These tunnels are enormous. What is this? Freedom Hall? Kentucky Exposition Center in Louisville, Kentucky. What are you saying, dude? I need to turn your volume on. I can't hear what you're saying. I didn't want to get myself in tunnel. What is the Spectrum guy saying?
Instead of always just using buses and police escorts, the tunnel seems to be a possible solution.
And land study to state lawmakers of the Interim Joint Committee Appropriations and Revenue. The board kept hearing about connectivity between their properties from clients.
We have clients that have grown to the point they use both properties at the same time. And if we looked at other cities, as we studied the opportunity to do that, instead of always just using buses and police escorts, the tunnel seems to be a possible solution.
Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner and candidate for governor Ryan Quarles tweeted in part that, quote, a tunnel project that will connect Jefferson County, reduce traffic congestion, and will expand our tourism opportunities. According to Quarles' tweets, the project would, quote,
Look under there. It's underground transits. This is wild. You're just tuning in. Hello. The Raven Rock Mountain Complex is also known as Site R and Deep Military Facility Communications for the Pentagon, located under Raven Rock Mountain in Pennsylvania. The Lord's Day is Saturday. Good morning. That was 59. So yes, Frank, you could imagine. Yeah, you could imagine. Did I fix that? Yeah, I fixed it. Let me see what they have to say.
Connect Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, Kentucky Expo Center, University of Louisville Churchill Downs, and downtown Louisville, including Kentucky International Convention Center, 4th Street Live, and other assets. Beck explained the Exposition Center concept.
We can put a tunnel underneath Phillips Lane, then that allows use of both sides of the property without having to close the street. That's something people have asked for and talked to.
The volume low. Okay, the volume's low. How can I? It won't let me turn it up. Let me see something. Let me put my microphone right here. See if you all can hear it. I'm gonna put it right there to hear the volume. Let me flip it. Sometimes they will mess with the volume. Let me do this.
But also, how do we get people to have access to the restaurants and the hotels, as well as KEC and KIC downtown?
Now, in terms of the concept, Quarles tweeted that transportation can be provided by autonomous vehicles or with human drivers. This is video from an existing tunnel in Las Vegas, Nevada, which Beck has ridden through.
It's exciting. It's quick. It's fast. It's convenient. It's safe. All the things you look for. The lighting was great.
Beck says it would give access to hotels, restaurants, and other attractions. He also says the tunnels would be used not only for conventions, but 24/7. In terms of this potential project, he's very excited and optimistic. In Louisville, I'm David Williams, Spectrum.
Wow, look at that. Oh no, they're getting ready to let it all out. That's the tip of the iceberg. Look how that car is going underground. It's the tip of the iceberg. Let's see it go underground. The people walk up to the car. You go up to the car or the bus.
In terms of this potential project, he's very excited and optimistic. In potential.
They're going to walk. This is happening. This is already. They're bringing everything back. They're ready to do whatever it is they're doing. Deep underground. Deep underground. Let me flip this back to me. Yeah. It's just the tip of the iceberg, Frank, honey. You hope the energy is better than yesterday's. Levitating. Canada cannot afford even butter in stores is selling for $9 in some stores, you all. The price of everything is going up. If the price goes up for everything, that means that sounds like collapse is occurring. The type of collapse is occurring, a breakdown. And the prices are soaring. They really are. When I went into the store with my daughter the other day, on the shelf, you know how you have the regular bags of flour? They look kind of big. I think they have like 8 cups or something in them. I don't know. They have now the small pack of flour. It is only 32 ounces. And have you noticed from years ago, they started introducing these products, the teeny tiny small version of the products. Oh, it's so cute. Well, they had the bigger version, the normal size. And they would put the smaller version on the bottom shelf. And then throughout the years, they would bring them up more and shrink the larger ones. But this is what we saw. It was just a 32 ounce bag of flour. That's only enough for 1 loaf of bread. I think it was like 2 something for that 32 ounce. That's if you could get it. I mean, in the future, that's probably only going to be the size you can get, if you can get it. If you can even have enough to buy the bread. The Humans in the Sunlight. It is the Jetsons. George Jetsons. The salt mine and the shipping, Ontario, Canada, are not far from the Laurel power plant. Oh, they can divert the, my nose wants to sneeze. They can divert the power and electricity to underground. You wish you could leave it. He has done bringing wow. Oh my gosh. It's meant to, replace. Just replace. It's meant to replace. America was known as the Great Melting Pot. Great American Melting Pot. Use a schoolhouse rock, where people from all around the world come, and they integrate and they marry, and the gene pool gets whatever further diluted, more or less. And if you look at this on that type of standpoint, and if you think about the Georgia Guidestones and keep the population under 500 million, and they had, I think it was around 7 or so different languages that it was like deciphered in. I don't know exactly. I could be I'm not completely sure of what all the different languages is. And if you look at that, and if they wanted to keep the population under 500 million, I would say on the surface maybe, I could see where they would allow the inflow of certain things that were on the Georgia Guidestone, that certain groups of individuals, pure, into here, and replace, when it's all said and done. Replace and repopulate. Yeah. Good morning, Susan, honey. Repopulate, redo whatever. I've thought this for a long time. I have. And it makes sense. But they would have only a it's like when the civilizations die and they start again. This is what it's like, Time for a reset, the Great Reset. It's what it's time for. Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth, honey. Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones, and when they had a lightning bolt, I heard it came from somewhere else on the ground or whatever it was. It was all kinds of stuff. And you don't know how it actually occurred because it wasn't clear. And with technology, you can simulate anything you want to. You can simulate something and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't. But when that was demolished, that was okay. This is the go ahead. This is our go ahead. This is time. It's time. Boom, bring it down. This is when they start bringing everything down. When did that happen? The Georgia Guidestone. What year was it? And around what time was that? Does anybody know the specific date when the Georgia Guidestones came down? I can look at it myself right here. Georgia Guidestones, destruction of the Georgia Guidestones. Georgia Guidestones. Guide. It is the guiding stones that will guide them into the future. Their 10 Commandments, their tablets written in stone. Yeah, Gina, you can Google the county in Huron County. Military, Bruce County, May 3rd through the 5th. Military, Bruce County, May, let me get that on there. Bruce, and Huron. Huron. Where's the word? I've heard the word Huron before. Huron means something. Huron County. I'm pulling it in right now. I'm gonna see what you're talking about. May the 3rd through the 5th, 2024. 2024. Okay, we got it. Oh, it's an extreme heat. Extreme. Oh, they're gonna do an exercise. The Canadian Armed Forces will be in Bruce County and Bruce and Huron counties from May the 3rd through the 5th, conducting a training exercise to simulate an extreme heat scenario. Troops assigned to the Huron will be stationed in the Bly, Wingsaw, Hinsel with activities breaching out the township of Herwick. It's in the news. They're going to do a heat scenario. The members of the public will see the deployment of the military personnel vehicles to validate the ability to deploy and sustain in real time. This is being done to create a more challenging, realistic training exercise, and we will see soldiers conducting fire training, wellness checks, simulated search and rescue, Operation Cooling Center establishments, as well as other related activity. They will ensure all measures are being taken to ensure the minimum inconvenience to those in the area. Members of the public are asked to take extra caution if approaching military. Oh, you better take extra caution if you are approaching a military vehicle and the troops, and are thanked in advance for their underground. You've got to, why are they telling you? You have got to take extra caution. More information is look at this. It shows they're going to be going house to house to do their wellness training right there. House to house in that area. Is this Canada? Is it Canadian Forces? I don't know what is this in the United States? I don't know, Mike, and really Canadian Armed Forces. Yeah, Frank, honey, I don't know. There's lots of military exercises. Well, if we were to have a Carrington event from the sun, A Carrington event would literally be a grid down scenario. It would knock everything out. Totally. You'd have no air. You'd have no cooling. They could set up cooling things. Ontario, thank you. Ontario, Canada. Emergency exercises. An emergency, for them to do an emergency exercise, and it's not uncommon to see military practicing in areas, but they're supposed to warn the people ahead of time when they do it. An estimated 800 Army reservists are expected to take part in an exercise. We have to make unity. Yes, it's true. The Canadian Armed Forces, the 31st Canadian Brigade, with the training, military exercises. So there is something coming. You gotta prepare in real world, because it's gonna be real world what is coming. And you're gonna have troops on the street, obviously. They can put them on the streets if they say that they're exercising. They warn ahead of time, I would assume. We know their exercises mean stage extents and sound like that. Yes. Detroit, Michigan, Kelly Honey. Farmland and Bruce Power Nuclear Plant is just east of that. So if you're just tuning in, there is something that is going on. You got the underground bases. It's literally like an underground world. And if you remember reading the story, the coming of the new race, underground, they had underground cities and everything within that story, the coming race, deep underground, but they were very, very, very powerful under there. Kelly, well, there's, I don't know how we got over here, but there's something coming. There's some kind of exercising coming. Why would they do the extreme heat? They said there were certain counties in the United States, certain states that were going to be experiencing extreme heat this summer. And if the sun is going solar, is it solar maximum? The sun's going to go solar maximum. Let me see, sun going solar maximum. And let me clear that out. Sun, solar maximum. This is the 11th. Solar maximum. Solar maximum. Military on standby. Let me do this. Solar maximum, look, here's this under we just found. Scientific American. Solar maximum could hit the U.S. harder and sooner than we estimated. What are they saying? It can potentially begin by the end of the year, that the sun could be going solar sooner than we thought. Where it just like, I don't know if it's been kind of every 11 years, will be that this star is a perpetual state of flux, and it's transforming over time. It's okay, turning the North Pole into the South Pole is what it is. It says the magnetic field. It gets it's like tightly wound rubber bands until it eventually snaps and completely flips. The sun flipping, turning the North Pole into the South Pole and vice versa. In the lead up to this, the gargantuan, and a gargantuan, look at that word, a gargantuan reversal. The sun amps up its activity, belching out fiery blobs of plasma, growing dark planet-sized spots, and emitting streams of powerful radiation. Well, they're underground. They got to get prepared. It's solar maximum, and that potentially is a perilous time for the Earth, and it gets bombarded by solar storms. It can disrupt communications, damage the power infrastructure, harm some living creatures, including the astronauts, send the satellites plummeting toward the planet. Some think that the solar maximum may be coming sooner than we thought. Okay, it's going to peak. It's getting said it's going to peak. The solar maximum is getting ready to peak. How do you prepare? Mammoth Cave in Kentucky would be a good escape route. They probably block off the tunnels there. You never know what you're going to encounter in those tunnels, Frank Honey. Yeah, let's look at this right here. So they extreme heat. They're preparing for extreme heat in, where was it, Canada? Okay. They are preparing for simulate an extreme heat scenario. So we've got the sun going into solar maximum. Originally, Originally, the scientists predicted that the current solar cycle would peak in 2025, but a bumper crop of sunspots, solar storms, and rare solar phenomena suggest that solar maximum could arrive by the end of this year at the earliest. And several experts told Life Science we are poorly prepared. Poorly, look, it's gearing up. What causes this? So that's probably, that's what's happening. They're expecting the solar maximum. It's a giant force field, and we're starting to see more activity of plasma and stuff. Fiery ribbons snapping from the sun. They're coming. Could a solar storm destroy the Earth? You know that they're preparing for the plasma apocalypse. If you are preparing for a plasma apocalypse, then you are most certainly for above the ground. Above the ground is going to be affected. You really want to have your underground cities, your underground world already up and going. So you could go underground when that thing comes, and the people on the earth, well, they're just going to be stuck on the surface of the earth. Your weather is warmer, and even the grass needs cut much more. If the sun gives us a show, it's going to be an amazing event as long as it's not a globalist pulling it off. They run underground. We will be above ground praying. Yeah, praying to meet your maker. It is true. Because what's this say in the book of Revelation? If you think about it, in the book of Revelation, it says, no longer will the sun scorch them. This is during the tribulation in the book of Revelation. Let me pull that up. No longer will the sun scorch them. Scorch them, it says. Scorch them. Revelation. It reminds me of Lazarus and the rich man. He was so hot wherever he was at. He just wanted Lazarus to just let him stick the tip of his finger in the water and just drop the waters on my tongue. No, there's a great big chasm. There's a great big chasm with him and you. What is that big chasm? If you thought of that great big chasm, if you were to flip it up, the rich man is on the surface of the earth, and then you think about the chasm, there's a big chasm, and then Lazarus is safe inside the earth, where he's not burning up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here we are. What does it mean? The Great Tribulation. Okay, is this Revelation 16:8. The fourth angel. The fourth angel. Let's do it. The fourth angel, it's Sunday, poured out his bow on the sun, and it was allowed to scorch the people with fire. You can look at all the different translations. The same thing is the word scorch. It will scorch men with fire. With the fourth angel pouring his bow out on the sun. Where in the Bible does it say that the sun stopped? Oh, look at this. On the day of the Lord, on the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, O sun, stand still over Gibeon. O moon, over the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the nation avenged itself on its enemies, as it is written in the book of Jashar. My nose just started tickling all of a sudden. Where does it say there'll be no sun? There will be no light or lamp or sun, for the Lord will be their light. It's in the Bible. It's in wherever it was at. But in the underground cities, in that real, and they don't need no sun inside there. They don't need no sun, no light, no nothing. It just glows. Okay, never again. Okay, now we're going to go to the Revelation 7. You're talking about the sun, the solar maximum, the solar cycle that's coming. They said the flip could happen. It's the flip. It's the flip that they're looking for. The extreme solar maximum, the peak. And that's why you got the Canadian forces are doing their heat exercise, extreme heat, going door to door, conducting a training exercise to simulate an extreme heat scenario. troops assigned to Hurring County will be stationed in Blythe County. You're just tuning in. Now we went over to the extreme heat. Never again will they hunger. Never again will they thirst. This is tell you what's coming. Look at this. Let me go to the exact chapter of this, chapter 7. This is what happens in the apocalyptic time. We're talking about the apocalypse. Let me get this. A multitude. Okay, let me see it. Jenny, can you get to it? They came out of the great tribulation. And look, these in white robes. Look at this. I want to read this. The angels stood still. The angels stood around the throne, around the elders and the 4 living creatures, and they fell down before the throne of God, saying, Amen, blessed and glory and wisdom, to thanks and honor and power and strength to our God forever and ever. Then one of the elders addressed me. These in white robes, he asked, who are they and where have they come from? Sir, I answered, you know. So he replied, we're talking about, this is like the tribulation time, the apocalyptic time according to the Bible. These are the ones who have come out of the great tribulation, the great turmoil that happened on the earth. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For this reason, they are before the throne of God. There are saints. You're going to say, I'm not going to be here for the tribulation. I'm going to get raptured out of here before the tribulation ever occurs. I beg your pardon. Revelation 6, is it 6? Revelation 7:14 tells you that there are going to be people who think they're going to be raptured out. There's nobody going to be on the earth. They ain't going to have to go through anything. This revelation is contradicting what you're being told. Now look at this. Sir, you know, these are those who have come out of the great tribulation. And that great tribulation is the same thing as in Matthew 24. There will be a time of distress. There will be a time of tribulation that comes upon the earth like never has come before. Okay, this it is. They are before the throne of God. They serve him day and night in his temple. The temple of God is supposed to be on the inside of your being. It truly is. But this is a physical temple that they're speaking about right here. And the one who's seated on the throne will spread his tabernacle over them. Never again will they hunger. There's going to be hunger that's happening to these saints, these people who overcome. They won't hunger. They will be thirsty. It means there's going to be some shortage of water, if you think of it in symbolically. Nor will the sun beat down upon them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb in the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. All I know is there is a lot of people, a whole lot of people who feel that they're going to be the 144,000, and there's people from all sects of life, all walks of life, who claim they are the 144,000. They're going to get raptured out of here, and they are going to escape the great tribulation of God, the great tribulation of the wrath of God, the great tribulation from the sun. But this tells you a totally different story. Oh, my nose is tickling again. They came out of the great tribulation. These are the ones who came out of the great tribulation. The apostles didn't get out scot-free, did they? Did the apostles suffer while on the earth? They did. They got all bad stuff done to them for standing up. They did. These in white robes. After this is like the sealing. This is the tribe, those who were sealed, 144 from the tribes of Israel. This right here. There's all kinds of interpretations to this right here. All kinds. But we're talking about the sealed. The 4 angels The four angels were standing at the four corners of the earth. How could the earth have how can the earth have a corner? Holding back its four winds, so that no wind would blow on the land, sea, or any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east with the seal of the living God, and he called out in a loud voice to the four angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea, do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we have sealed the foreheads of these servants of God. And I heard the number 144,000. I'm not going to get into that, and I'm not going to argue with nobody over it. After this, I looked and I saw a multitude too large. It was way too large to count, from every single nation, more or less, and every single tribe and people and tongue, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and holding palm branches in their hand, and they cried out to a loud voice, "Salvation to our God who sits on the throne and to the Lamb." And all the angels stood around the throne, and the elders and the four living creatures. There's living creatures. You don't want to know what those living creatures look like. The four living creatures, they don't look human. They look like something out of a sci-fi movie. The four living creatures fell down and faced before the throne, and they worshiped God. Amen. Blessings, glory, and wisdom, and thanks and honor and power and strength to our God forever and ever. Amen. Then one of the elders asked me, "These in white robes, these who are in the white robes, who are they and where do they come from?" "Sir, you know. They are the ones who came out of the great tribulation. They washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. That's why they're before their throne." And they were people from all walks of life, with the different languages all over the earth. People from all over. There was a multitude, a multitude. It was too large to count, way too large. So the sun, while they had to go through it. They had to go through, "Never again will they hunger, never again will they thirst, nor will the sun beat down upon them, nor any scorching heat." Nor any scorching heat. And we have the military is right here. This is the training exercise, the Canadian Army exercise to simulate an extreme heat scenario. And the solar maximum could hit the U.S. sooner rather than later than we thought. Possibly beginning by then. It's expected by 2025, but they're expecting it now, and they're preparing. So I would say that the poles are going to flip on the sun. It's going to be really hot. And we got a plasma apocalypse. They're going to fry everything and have a Carrington event. I believe the plasma apocalypse and the Carrington event is the one and the same. The plasma apocalypse is the ancient oblivion. Oh, Jay-Z, what is this? Ancient oblivion. The plasma apocalypse. It takes you down it takes the reader through hell on earth, down the rabbit hole through the Sipapu portal in the sky, past Nibiru, and into the very Elysian fields of the boom. The plasma apocalypse, they're calling it in, sung by the binaural frequencies, the plasma apocalypse, ripples and waves frequencies out of the apocalypse. Oh my gosh. Out of the plasma apocalypse, a robot rises to complete. Oh, out of the a robot rises to complete in the autonomous fighting robots. Oh my goodness. Oh, the plasma apocalypse on the YouTube on this. Okay, now we got the Carrington event. Is one of the, it truly is like one and the same. The plasma apocalypse and Carrington event, KA. Let me flip it around, y'all. We're going to be wrapping this up if I can quit talking. Carrington event. Carrington event. They had one back in 1859, but there is one that is expected. The Carrington event will be, it was, the Carrington event, history's greatest solar storm, and you know what it's going to do. What could happen during the Carrington event? The size solar flare will hit to Earth. If it were, it would emit X-rays and ultraviolet light, which would reach the Earth's atmosphere and interfere with electronics and as well as radio frequencies. Could you survive? Look at this. The last one was in 1859. We're long overdue. Earth narrowly missed it in 2012. The electronic apocalypse, NASA's superstorm, and all this kind of it could wipe out the internet for weeks. This is the perfect thing. This would be the perfect thing, the superstorm that could wipe it out for weeks. This would be your reset. Your reset. It's going to reset the earth because there's going to be a lot of people going to die. This is how they're talking. A lot of people are going to die. They're going to die when the electricity goes out. They ain't going to make it. They're not going to survive. Well, it is true. It won't be a nice, pleasant place to live. Only the strong will survive. And then if something like that happens, and it probably will happen, it'll be a time of distress unequaled from the beginning of the world and never to be equaled again. Only the strong will survive, but then you'll see the worst you would ever expect from a human being, because it's gonna bring out the worst, and it wouldn't be a nice place to even. You can't thrive in it. You can't. It's just the will to survive. It kind of reminds me of I never watched it, the Mad Max and the Thunderdome. If you think of the movie WALL-E, that cartoon, that was my least favorite cartoon to ever watch, WALL-E. It was awful. Where did we start off? Oh, the deep underground cities, the hypothetically speaking. My nose is starting to itch again. I'm going to resist the urge. It's tickling. Something's tickling my nose to get me off track. They got their cities already underground, and in that unlikely event of a Carrington event or a solar maximum, which they said could reach the Earth sooner rather than later, and you have the Canadian forces that are going house to house in a training exercise, a simulated training exercise for fire and stuff like that. They wellness checking, setting up cooling centers, and the U.S. could experience, these states in the U.S., these states could experience extreme heat. Why certain states with extreme heat? Well, with extreme heat, the crops are going to die. Then we got these locusts coming. Okay, extreme heat. Oh, my nose is really kind of tickling you all. I got to get over here to the right tools right here. You're just tuning in, welcome. I wanted to do within the past month. Okay, we will be heading. We could be heading into the hottest summer of our lives, our very lives, our lives. We could. Well, what makes them think that? Is it because of the solar maximum, the hottest summer of our lives? These U.S. states are about to have a brutally hot summer. Record days of heat. It will be especially hot. It's going to be hot. Did the you know who speak about the heat in it? Also, the few. Did they mention anything about the heat? The extreme heat. It's going to cause the crops to wither. Then the probable switch from El Nino to La Nina will increase the risk of a hot summer and possibly the hottest on record. Well, the hottest on record, I guess 1800s, I think around, they're probably expecting it. They expanding it. They're going to expand the availability of new heat forecasts ahead. We are releasing the new heat and health tools and guidance to help the people take the simple steps to stay safe in the heat. And when there's extreme heat and people trying to cool their homes, the power grid cannot keep up. It cannot keep up. It cannot handle the load. It can't. You're going to have brownouts, and sometimes brownouts last around 3 hours, 6 hours and stuff. Load sharing. They have it in Africa. Ask people who live in South Africa, how's it feel over there for them, because it's not too pleasant with their brownouts when the electricity is cut off and all that kind of stuff. They know what it's like, and it gets hot over there. It does. They got their stuff out right there. Houston Chronicle, Texas summer heat will risk. The free online tool can help you It's already going to tell you all. We're going to have some wild weather ahead. 2024 could be a scorcher, an absolute scorcher. Nor will the sun beat down upon them, nor any scorching heat. It's like Jonah got scorched. The sun was scorching Jonah on the head. Jonah and sun scorching. I'm doing a video up here. Yes. The sun is scorching right here. The sun is scorching Jonah's head. The sun beat down on Jonah's head so that he grew faint, and he wished he would die. Then he wished that he was just going to die. It would be better for me to die than to live. That's what Jonah said when the sun was scorching and the east wind. It would just be better for me to die. On Jonah. God rose. When the sun rose, God appointed a scorching east wind, and the sun beat down on the head of Jonah so that he was faint. And he asked that he might die. It's better for me to die than to live. He didn't even want to go through it. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to be nice and cool. Would you say, Frank, honey? A steady 62 degrees underground in the tunnels. So that's a nice, pleasant thing, as long as you have plenty of sunlight underground in those underground bases, underground cities, underground, to escape the solar maximum. So the fiber optic that's underground, that's just glass. It's more or less, it's light running through, and it's underground, it's buried underground. I guess the fiber wouldn't be, if they run it underground, then underground, underneath the fiber optic too. Well, you know, I'm not going to say nothing. They got the big fiber optic cables that they ran across the ocean too. I'm going to go ahead and talk too much. I did. Yes, we got it. Trouble ahead. Trouble. There'll be trouble everywhere. Trouble. Okay, that you remind me of my poem that I wrote, and it was titled Trouble. Y'all had to look up there. Let me find my poem that I wrote about trouble. Trouble here and trouble there. There'll be trouble everywhere. Let me find my poem that I wrote. Y'all, I got to turn on my iPhone 8. I'm going to find it. You look up there. Let me find it. Trouble here and trouble there. There'll be trouble everywhere. We're going to find it. Okay, is what we're going to do. I had to wait for my phone to turn on. You're looking up there. You brought the poem back into my mind. My Apple iPhone is trying to take a long time to turn on, but I got it turned on. I had to put in my passcode, and I'm going to look up the poem. I'm going to look up the poem right here. I'm going to let you all look. I'm going to look into my notes. This is where I write my notes. Trouble. Okay, trouble. I can't. I'm trying to type on my keyboard to type onto my phone. No, it's trouble. Trouble. TROUB. Ear. Trouble. Here. Okay, trouble. Oh. The end. Let's look at this. The iCloud pulled it up. Okay, we can look at it. The end. You know what iCloud did? iCloud put my notes over here because I don't think I wrote that poem back then, but we're going to look at it. February the 3rd of 2024, 10:27 a.m. The end. Light and dark, night and day. Time is slipping and fading away. Trouble here, trouble there. There'll be trouble everywhere. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Life itself has come undone. Tomorrow is here, can't you see? There's many things surrounding thee. Close your eyes, it will not help. Open them wide, yet be stealth. Faster than what is to come. Prepare within before it's done. No time to spare, no time to wait. There is no time to congregate. The line's been drawn, the line is firm. No going back, just one term. A riddle, yes, a truth within. Look very deeply, this is the end. It's the end. Okay, there. Who said the trouble? Trouble. Um, yeah. Okay. Um, so there's one more poem that had the trouble in it, and I'm going to read it. August the 17th of 2020 at 7:47. In a world full of trouble, there remains those who are unaware of the impending tragedy that awaits humanity. There are those who are awake, yet are blinded to see what is now in front of them. We are living in an unprecedented times that is going to test every fiber. I'm just talking about fiber optic, fiber of our being. We have a decision to make. Will we march forward into the future with blinders on our eyes, or will we take those blinders off our eyes and become the great army of light in a world going dark? I urge you to take a deep look around and let it sink in the severity of all that is happening. Our world is changing, and it's changing rapidly. We must awaken the warrior within so that we can face what is coming and what is already here. Time is not on our side, and with each day, the darkness is becoming bolder, and it's not backing down. We have an obligation to humanity and to ourselves. We must be strong and brave and encourage others to be the same. It's going to take all of us encouraging each other to weather the storm and to fight the good fight. Okay, that's it. That's it. This has given me a hot flash. I think that was the only two. No, no. There's another thing that came up. Another poem on trouble. We're gonna have to look at it. Okay, we're gonna have to look at it. Give me a hot flash. I gotta take the jacket off. Hold on, I'm getting hot underneath this flannel shirt. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get this right here. We got to finish the last few things that I wrote that popped in about the trouble. We got it right here. Okay, you got it? You're going to flip it around. This is August the 25th of 2020 at 4:05. When strong winds blow, the earth will quake. The seas will war with shifting plates. Skies will darken like the heart of man. Life will be as shifting sands. Day and night will be as one. Little by little, life comes undone. Tyranny will take its place, lacking wisdom, lacking grace. Hearts of men will begin to fail. Life becomes a living hell. There amidst the chaos lives, hope and favor, or lives, hope and favor freely gives. Trouble here and trouble there, there'll be trouble everywhere. Hold on tight and don't let go. Keep the love within your soul. Forces from above will come, even when life comes undone. Do not let fear reside. Our help will come with the changing tide. That was in trouble, 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 until the end. Okay, these are all the ones that had trouble on them. So I'm going to go. Yes, they're going to, let me turn this off. My words are done. Gina, those things that you wrote, did you write them? Yeah, they flowed in from the Holy Spirit. Just flow in. They flow in. Whenever they flow in, I write the words down. When the words start flowing in, I just write them down. And I haven't been doing that lately because my mind's been a little scattered. Is it within you? Absolutely, it's within me. I'll get to that place again. Yeah, I'm going to go. Let me stand up. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. I'm sorry this is a long video, and there'll be many that will not watch it till the end of this video. But that's what's coming. When I have things flow in poetically, that's how it happens. Those things that flow in like that are really flow in the means of rhymes and riddles and stuff. That's how they flow in. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. And thank you, Susan B. Honey. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Y'all, please give this video a thumbs up. Love you.